everybody, welcome to Australia. Nice of you to drop in. The flight's not good, is it? No. Okay, so I woke up this morning realising we're on the brink of September. We're a day ahead of you. It's already Tuesday. I'm waiting for the US Open to start. So if there's any other sports pigs like me, that's a good time. And I know I won't be getting much sleep for the next 2 weeks. Okay. But we're going to just launch in now to September and see what's going on. While I'm shuffling, I just want to say about the mugshot. It was great, of course, symbolically to see the said mugshot. But how come he was allowed in a suit? I'm sorry, wearing a suit is not a real mugshot, you know. And he may as well have had a backdrop of, you know, waterfalls or something. I mean, don't they normally just have the thing that measures your real height? You know, yeah. Anyway, better than nothing. He has got a prison number now. So we've got to get our jollies where we can, you know. So here we go. Another good news. Elon Musk and Tesla have lost $200 billion since June. Now, we have to remind ourselves it's not real money, you know, it's share value, but still. So he's another one like the Yeti, who everyone thinks is a great businessman, and he seems to just lose money hand over fist, you know. Like, anyway, for us mere mortals, we can only wonder why. So here we are in September, 4 cards for each week. Let's see. Week 1. Oh, well, movement. Okay. So when I look at these cards in a row, this 8 of Pentacles, the Apprentice card, ironically, is speaking to, I think, the various legal eagles getting all their ducks in a row, getting it all set up to move forward. Now, I must confess, on my Sunday morning, your Saturday night in the US, I became vaguely hysterical at the thought of, what if Jim Jordan, you know, manages to sack Fani Willis? I mean, appalling as a concept. And I want to send a shout out to Lady G, because she hosed me off the ceiling. Thank you. We don't think it's going to happen. Okay. So this is the legal people making sure, because they've got no wriggle room, everything has to be absolutely correct. Out in the cold here, for me, this is all the various co-defendants out in the cold, because they've lived in their own little sealed world. They've lived in a bubble for these last 4 or 5 years. And now I think they're genuinely quite shocked, the Sidney Powells and the Mark Meadows and everyone, out in the cold. But these two are rapid fire action cards. Incoming, beep, 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 Chariot, look out. Okay, so I think there's scrabbling behind the scenes, because if you are a felon, you want to be the first to get the plea deal, because once one rolls, they all go down like dominoes. There's a fear attached to this. So I think we'll see a lot of movement in week 1. Always good news. So let's have a look at week 2 of September. This 8 of Wands too, I just think this could also suggest a hurricane as well, with everything coming in a particular direction. So make sure you're as safe as you possibly can be and that you've got your plans sorted. It could have a weather connotation. Okay, week 2. Oh, this could get ugly. This could get ugly. There's a lot of confusion around things. It's hard to get my brain, and I'm sure most of yours, away from the politics of everything for a moment. But it's like in week 2, there's this generic sort of think too much choice or fear of making the wrong choice. It's, there's a deluded sort of element to this. And this figure knows that in these cups, there's some great things to be had, like jewels and wealth and other things that are just a nightmare. So I think it's going to be very hard for people to distinguish between the two. There will be an element of confusion going into week 2. The King of Pentacles here, this could be some sort of exposure. Well, there's always exposures about money, so much crime, so little time, like really. That's not a revelation, obviously, but it's a king, so it's someone significant. It could be the Yeti himself with yet another expose on him not paying lawyers, not doing this, not doing that. But it's like he might be doing something grandiose in week 2 because he's been calling for support. He really wanted another January 6th every day of the week till he gets back into power. He's not getting it. So I think this is some grand gesture about money. I'm a billionaire, so vote for me. I'm a billionaire, but I have to go to the bail bondsman. I'm a billionaire because I'm fabulous, but I want your $20 from the trailer park. What? There's something about that. Now, the Queen of Cups. Who is this woman? Let me know in the comments, because she's someone who represents heart and soul on some level. And she's actually really good at getting an emotional reaction from people. So at the moment, the lid is on the cup, but in week 2, it could be a mother or a woman who steps forward about gun violence. We all know the pattern now. This is obscene amount of hate-filled gun violence, and then every couple of years someone emerges who stands out. This could be, I think, a mother or someone who really takes it to them, that could in turn rouse young people. This is also my card of Greta Thunberg and climate change. So just like we had the possibility of hurricanes, this could be something to do with a dramatic weather event in week 2. So let's have a look now at week 3 of September. Let's have a look here. What have we got? Wow, that's sort of interesting. I think this is, I was just saying with that Queen of Cups, someone who gets to the emotion. Now, the traditional pattern, not just in the US, in Australia, everywhere, the Conservatives are really good at identifying people's fears and working with them and making them vote because of something that they're afraid of. This is sort of a merger. It could be a merger of different groups that have different agendas, actually coming together. Imagine that. That would be a fine thing. But there's a possibility. There's a possibility here that it's next to the Strength card, which refers to inner strength. And I'll take this moment to say to all of you, this is a long haul now through 24, 25. You're going to need that strength. And with this more sort of bonding energy, to realize there's different forms of strength, not just brute strength. This young girl is taming the lion. So it could be like the daughter of someone famous stepping up as well. But I think it's talking to you as a collective, needing your inner strength and not to feel, oh, what can I do? I'm just one person, right? That's how they want you to think. Right? When in fact, one person can do quite a lot. And I think there's a real, thing in there to take note of. Do you remember back in the 70s, we used to have buttons that said, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I think sometimes we need to be reminded of that. What are we doing to make something right in the world? And I really encourage you to find something that you're passionate about with an organization you respect. It might be, if you've got the money, a donation, but it could be donating 4 hours of your time a week or every 2 weeks, something. Because you meet like-minded people and you get more optimistic, and then you have more energy and you become more creative. And it's much better for all of us to be really dipping into our own courage. I think that's the moral message here. There is a victory with that. I mean, I'm astonished. Yeah. There is a victory of sorts, and it has an impact on the GOP. It could be a victory legally for who can count the indictments. We've almost forgotten about Letitia James, all of that stuff. I think there could be a significant victory that gives people a boost in week 3. So let's have a look at week 4. Week 4, September. What do we need to know? Now, let me say, a few things jump out at me at week 4. The last card is the King of Pentacles reversed. Now, those of you who follow my channel, bless you, intrepid viewers, I wouldn't get 2 reversals a year, right? Loving this. Okay, but it starts with the Page of Wands. This used to be my Obama card back in the day, someone who's a compelling speaker, right? So there's going to be a strong case made. The Emperor, which is usually my Yeti card, but for some reason I've got a bit of a vibe on DeSantis here. And I'll tell you why in just a sec. I think it could still be the Yeti for sure. But a stone throne, because they're convinced he's a king for some reason that we can't understand, is not that comfortable. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's something about DeSantis too. So that might be a hurricane or something hitting and him saying, well, we don't want federal help, and then taking it anyway and then sitting on his stone throne. It's hard to know which of these really nasty creatures it's referring to because there's so many. But here we go. there's going to be some surprise news in week 4, which again I think is weather related. It's while we're looking over here, something happens over there. You know, that sort of vibe. I'm not a meteorologist, but if you're following what certain hurricanes are doing, something else is going to be a complete surprise. The King of Pentacles, who's surrounded by riches and real estate and jewels and money and power. Boing. I think by the end of the month, I wouldn't describe him completely as a spent force because he manages to attract these people who would lick the back of the fridge if he asked them to, right? What can you say? What can you do? But I think this is a big loss of power and assets. You know, the alleged businessman, you know. So there we have it. Of course, 16 cards does not tell us the whole story, and there'll be installments as we go. And I want to let you guys all know it's countdown for me now. It's 2 weeks today till I leave Australia. And don't worry, I'm still going to be doing videos from wherever I am. My first stop is Greece. And yes, most of you know I am a Sagittarian. So for me, travel is oxygen. And people say, how do you afford it? I say, I would live on grass if it meant I could get an airfare at any point, right? You know. It's priorities. People have priorities. And as you know, if you're an intrepid viewer, I've had the same clothes I had on in 2017. Not my priority. Give me an airfare any day. Okay. So you guys take care. And I'll be back in a flash. Okay. Look after yourselves. Make sure you're properly sorted. If you are in a vulnerable geographic place, make sure you're sorted and make sure someone near you is sorted. An older neighbor, someone, petrol in the car, you're packed, you've got your pet food, you're sorted. Really, really, really fine print. Okay. Take care and stay safe. Bye.